So hey, good morning ladies and gentlemen. We again find ourselves inside the compound of the Norman Ring group of motorbikes. Now, I am going to be reviewing this motorcycle in front of you. And if you've guessed it, this would be the Ducati Scrambler Desert Sled. This Desert Sled is a little bit higher than the previous Ducati that I have ridden, which would be the Cafe Racer, and I'll put a link here. The tires are Pirelli Scorpion Rally STR. Front tire would be at 120/70/19. The rear would be 170/60/17. Semi-knobby.
Gipahimuan og kuan papel din man akong butangan og dealer plate.
Palihog. Katong dealer plate, importante ito kay masking dealer plate lang, makabalo sila nagikan sa inyo ha. Okay naman. That's very important, a dealer's plate. I was not wanting to go anywhere without that dealer's plate. And the registration papers are all sorted out, so it should be under the seat. So we should be good to go. So 549. Let's try this out. Well, definitely you feel much higher on this one than the Cafe Racer. Let's get out of the city. This motorcycle is clearly not built for the city. It was rather built for the what's a desert sled made for? It's really not built for this. Handlebars are really wide. With your regular seating posture, you're not that close to the pipes. Transmission is just like the Cafe Racer, but it's much more clunkier. It just makes a clack sound. It's like a bolt action rifle. That's not a bad thing. My schedule was a bit messed up for this review. It's already past 11 o'clock now, going into noontime, so it's already a hot time to review. But thankfully, the weather is not that hot because it's kind of cloudy. It was raining a whole lot last night. Roads are dry though, and it would be nice if I can just go somewhere and have a feel for this bike. Not as in-depth as compared to the Cafe Racer, because the Cafe Racer was just nice. I mean, I started early. Still, Mahan! Now let's get the approval of our president first for this motorcycle. Of course, because our president is beloved. You know, it's not something that he wanted. It just happened. Everything set. We have fuel. Everything is a go. So we're off for the Northern Loop on a Ducati Scrambler Desert Sled. Now the Desert Sled, as per Ducati personnel here in Norman Ring, Davao City, this is the fastest moving motorcycle model in the entire Ducati lineup worldwide. Weather is a little bit on off. It should be like blaring hot now, but it's still patchy cloud. Got good ground clearance and such. With the seat height, that's also formidable for shorter riders. I am 5'8" in height, so with my 5'8" height, I am still tiptoeing this bike, and it would be in the discretion of a rider shorter than me, and depending on how they be handling the motorcycle like this. Like I said, it's not a problem if with your height. It's just how you use it. If you use it for city driving, and if you're a bit shorter, it's gonna be so tiring, because you're gonna be just putting one butt over the seat so that you're gonna be reaching it for tiptoeing purpose. Riding posture, it would be no-brainer. The riding posture is more like a supermoto upright with a really wide handlebars. And that's also a very comfy position to some. To me, like I said before, I prefer the Cafe Racer style handlebars because you're a little bit leaned forward. Shifting is also the same, much like a Cafe Racer. If you've done the Ducati shifting once, you're already dialed in for most of the Ducati models or most of the Ducati motorbikes. The only difference now is the ride posture, which is upright, and the wider handlebar or wider high-rise handlebars, which is offset. So the leaning angle or the lean posture when you're doing your turns in the bends is gonna be quite different from the Cafe Racer. At Shrine Hills, Father, Son, the Holy Spirit, amen. Keep us safe, Lord. Still no gear shift indicator. Guess that's how this Scrambler line is. There is an unusual sensation on how you're postured really high on this bike. It's like I can see more of the road. Maybe it's psychological, maybe because you're not hunched forward, but because of that upright posture, you are seeing more of the road. Somehow. Not by much. Only a little, but it gives you that sensation. So impressions. there's a little bit of wiggle in the throttle. I mean, in the throttle grip. I'll show that to you when I'm off the bike because it's really hard to describe it now. It's like there's a space in there that you wiggle it forwards and back. It's like it has a bigger diameter. The throttle grip has a bigger diameter than the bar, so it's kind of wiggling. It's weird. And these high seat, it's good when you're riding. When you're just turning on slopes or in grades and in streets where there's already a grade to it, the tiptoe is just expounded. Man, I'm not yet 30 minutes into the ride. Still a bit comfy. The posture on how you're seated, the seat foam, it's kind of firm, you know, but the butt is not yet acting up. Wow, this sucks. I don't know what's the deal with that one, but we're turning back. It's too much traffic on that side. There's a northern route, so I'm gonna take the other route. Somehow, this motorcycle has got a whole lot of vibration as compared to the Cafe Racer. Maybe it's how the handlebars are. It's wider and compared to clip-ons. This handles a little much better than the Cafe Racer, definitely because of that suspension. Well, honestly, I'm just trying my luck. I don't know where this leads. We're in the twisties of the hills. Hey, it's a new road. I guess that's what motorcycles are for. To boldly go where you haven't been before. And if it did say that it's a dead end up ahead, then you can just always go back. But with the rough road capability of this motorcycle, I think I'm gonna be seeing it through. Langub. If ever there's a portion here that is not paved, then the dual sport capability of the Desert Sled would be very much attuned to it, and it would definitely be proven. Liming Quinto Off-Road Racetrack. Look at that. This I like. Covered in trees, both sides of the road. Wow. Beats anything as compared to being stuck with traffic and 10-wheelers on both sides. Exhaust gives you a feel of you are in the motorcycle more because it's growling. You know, there's a growl in there somewhere. Chicken on the road. Why did the chicken cross the road? Oh, that was a chicken. I think it was a hen. Hen. I love it when you're just the only one in the road. Still, this is part of Davao City, man. It's not really far from the central. If we had desert here, I'd be on it. But since we don't have desert here, maybe Lahar. Lahos na dire? Asan yung lahos?
Mana padulong. Mababag kong tuod.
Maa. Sige, salamat. So there's a fork in the road, you know? Kalinan?
Kalinan ka?
Oh. Well, Kalinan goes this way. Well, here comes the cars. I'm sure highway is just up ahead. Trucks, garbage trucks here. See all that garbage dump? The dump site is really very near. That's all garbage. The not so nice place about Davao, not so nice place in the Davao City area or in any other city are the garbage dumps, garbage sites. I think this is for the recycling sites, you know, with the bottles, plastics, whatnot. This guy in front of me, I think he belongs to a club. He's just showing me the signs on the road. Every time he dangles a foot, that means there it is, obstacles or breaks in the road. So he's probably used to riding or rides in a group. That's what you do when you're riding in a group. That's a nice thing about riding in a group. See, left and right, left and right foot, he's dropping it. That's one good thing about riding in a group. You know, you have early warning signs from the lead rider. Me, I don't ride in a group. I mean, I just ride solo most times. But you know, this guy's playing solo, and I'm just up for it. You know, that's good. Keeping us company. See, the road here is filled with this shit. I think the serenity of the road just only goes so far, and then you're already greeted with this shit. That's a dump site. And the smell is just pungent, putrid. I think it's the first time that I've been here, or maybe not. I've already been here in a car. You don't smell it as much in a car, but yeah, balbacoan in the dump site, you know, added flavor to the balbacoa. You get into the, you know, I was in that situation where it was just so pristine with the woods covering the road and all, and then comes the humans and all the trash that we humans bring. I probably have one plastic here somewhere that came from the house. That's the reality of the situation. We consume and then we throw the plastic and we have garbage. It's just so bad. At least we passed that and you guys saw it. Hey, we both saw it first. Like I said, I don't remember if I've been here through a car, with a car. But most guys know here in Davao that it's one spot you'd rather not be. You guys saw it firsthand. Not much top speed on this video because I am not on the highway. I am in the secondary roads, and I think this is where this one would excel. If ever I'm gonna be coming up to a road that is a break in the road, this desert sled would excel on that one, because it's not meant to be a highway speed freak. It's more like secondary, tertiary, or the broken roads, the rough roads that can be there. The rough roads that are there when you encounter it when you're riding randomly, you know. It's a Fiesta. Nice. The GKK San Miguel. New Carmen. So maybe I've been riding for about 30 to 40 minutes now, going north in another route, this time in the twisties route without the highway. I didn't take the highway because If you saw that, I was greeted by lots of 10-wheeler trucks just blocking the road going into the highway. I mean, that wasn't even the highway yet. It was just so I opted for impromptu. Off the bat, I opted for another route. That's about the suckiest thing that can be. You're stuck with these trucks and there's just no room to maneuver and overtake. If you did, it's a bend in the road and it would be so bad because it's a blind curve. And are you gonna be gambling with your life on that one? Just for example, there's another truck on the other side of the road and boom! That's not a truck, but it will still do you some damage. Most definitely. It's rest time and you need to have buko juice. There's nothing more refreshing than buko juice. So welcome to the view, Ducati Scrambler Desert Sled. You are out of your element here. Tong. So we're going down from the view. I've had this motorcycle now for about an hour and a half maybe, but I've just ridden it for an hour. Not really that long, but I'm gonna give you some points on how this motorcycle handles. Like all big CC motorcycles, it's clumsy and it's at slow speed. But once you get up to speed, then it's just a really nice motorbike. I mean, really nice motorcycle that just gets you really fast from one point to another. This one, the suspension is rather long, so longer than most scramblers, so it is very forgiving in rougher roads. You know, you can really feel it that the suspension travel is much more adept, something like that, when dealing with imperfect road conditions. I don't know if it's just this Ducati, but I'll let you hear the engine sound when you're running it, and hopefully the microphone got it. There's a ticking sound, tick 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 tick, much like my VTZ 250, because it's a similar layout, a V-twin. Although it was just a 250 on mine, this one is 803. It did have that ticking sound. And this one has just got 657 now in the odometer. I got hit early in the morning. I think it was around 577 kilometers. Now it's at 657.9 going to 658. Now it's 658. It's let's start with what I like about the motorcycle. This motorcycle, I like how it feels when it's leaning, to be honest. I mean, the wide handlebars would be attributed to that, because it gives you leverage. It's kind of like a macho thing, and it's wide, and it gives you leverage on the entire front end. So when you're leaning it feels really nice. It's different on how the Cafe Racer handles the lean, because that's clip-on handlebars. But this one, it leans. I also like it in a way. The upright riding posture, I would say that it is not really built for high speed. The fastest that I went was 140 kilometers per hour, and I tried it with a tuck, and I tried it with upright posture, and at upright posture it was just trying to blow me away. I was like a sail. My whole body was like a sail, acting as a sail, and it's disconcerting at that speed, because it's really weird at that speed, because you feel like you're gonna be blown off. So all in all, the handlebars also, because of its longish appearance, although it's a fat bar, it gives off vibration a lot. Gives off a lot of vibration as compared to the clip-on handlebars of the Cafe Racer. This one, it's just, my hands were numbing, and I was riding this way much shorter of a time than the Cafe Racer, but the Cafe Racer was more comfy on my hands, and it was not numbing my hands as compared to this one. So I would say, because of the longish handlebars, a one piece, the vibration on this one was kind of noticeable. And in just an hour's worth of riding, the weight really doubles. You know, you can really feel the weight on those calves. It holds its own in a different way than a Cafe Racer would, but it would just want you to say wow as well. Well, this would be the most challenging part of this review. Weaving through traffic. That's it. Running this thing over 140 kilometers per hour, there's no problem there. But weaving it through traffic, it's the most challenging part of all. The heating, the tiptoeing. If you're a taller rider, it doesn't matter if you're flat-footing this or not. It's just that the weight is something you need to be mindful of already. And the heat on my right thigh, well, everything's expounded in this kind of situation. You got cars in front of me, this beside me, behind me, and it is just now so heavy that this is where the challenge is. This is the most challenging part. There's nothing here. So if you're gonna be caught in this kind of situation, it's the shittiest thing that you can ever find. I don't have a way inside and through that, and besides, these handlebars are so wide, it would suck if I go through there. So you don't have a choice but to just wait for your turn. Finally, at last, I am in the front. So we find ourselves in the tail end again of this review. I've just finished riding this Ducati Scrambler Desert Sled all over the Magtuod area and then rounded it off to Kalinan area and back to the downtown area. It wasn't as long as a ride as compared to the cafe racer that I did, but I got the feel for this motorcycle. Well, first off, let's take out the obvious. This motorcycle is really tall. Not really tall, but for a height rider of mine, which is 5'8", I was tiptoeing. I was on my toes on this motorcycle. Now the Terminioni pipes, it has a different sound as compared to the cafe racer that I rode. It has a much more growly sound, and it's not as bassy. Now, the engine, when you turn on the engine, I'm sure you've heard that. I'm gonna let you hear that engine noise. There's like tick, 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 tick sounding in the engine somewhere over here. Now, the ride on this one, especially when you're in a rough road, it is way much more forgiving. It is a little bit softer suspension as compared to the cafe racer. Now, I'm gonna compare it to the cafe racer because they are one and the same. They are on the Scrambler line. But what the cafe racer is, if the cafe racer is on this one side, this desert sled is on the opposite side of it. The handlebars is way much different on the cafe racer. The handlebars on this one is a bit vibey, you know. I had numbing on my hands when I was riding this motorcycle. Maybe by how it's designed, the handlebars are a bit wide and they are a bit long. That's why there's vibration on it. You can really feel it. Like I said, I've just maybe rode this motorcycle for an hour, or an hour and a half maybe, but my hands were numbing. You know, I needed to shake my hand off more so than the other motorcycle. And that's because of the, that's how it is. The lever advantage of this motorcycle is the advantage, but its disadvantage because of the lever, very long lever, it also gives off a lot of vibration, which is, I think you can live with that, but for me, if you just ride on and off, you get used to it. So everything in this desert sled was made to go to give you a dual sport feel. I would just like to add that the skid plate there is a good plus. The Cafe Racer doesn't have that. But overall, how would I decide which to get? Should I go for the Cafe Racer, which is in here? Should I go for the Icon, which is in the middle? Should I go for the Desert Sled, which is on the other end of the spectrum? It all depends to you. Me, if I had the money, well, I would also get this. It's not the highest selling Ducati model in the whole world for no reason. This motorcycle has got a very distinct character that is all on its own. Yes, of course, it's clumsy in the streets, weaving through traffic. To be honest, I got more. It was the most challenging part of this review, being in traffic in the city. It's just so scary. But when you get into the open road, in the twisties, in the secondary road, in the tertiary roads, this motorcycle will excel, no doubt about it, because of the suspension, of how it was set up with the lever advantage that's given to you by the wide handlebars with a really high, mid-rise handlebar. It's a no-brainer that this would really be its calling. Now, going back to the question, which one should you get? I would suggest you get both. You get the Cafe Racer, you get this. It's problem solved. That's the only solution that you can go about it. Well, if you still got an extra money, it would be nice to buy 1200 Multistrada, but that would be so heavy and that would be in another different story. That motorcycle is the best weapon of choice if you're gonna be doing, for example, the Boss Ironman marathon. I mean, that's 1,200 miles, ridden in 16 hours, no sleep, or maybe you sleep a little, but if you're gonna be doing this, yes, you can still do it. But that one, it's got the tank capacity, so you don't have to do gas stops that much. So it all depends on what weapon that you're going to be using. But for me, for downtown city driving, I choose the Cafe Racer. For secondary roads, for maybe dual sporting, Desert Sled. If you guys like this video, do give it a thumbs up and click on the bell icon so that you'd be notified on the future uploads that I'm going to be doing in this channel. Now, if you are a little bit timid and not yet subscribing to this channel, well, you really need to be subscribing. I am coming up to my 1 million views here on YouTube, so I would be doing a giveaway. It would be 2 giveaways for the 1 million views and the 3,000 subscribers that I am having. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please do subscribe. I'm gonna be sending out the information on how you can win the giveaways here on my channel. So this has been Django Moto 1911, and it has been a joy to be riding this Ducati Scrambler Desert Sled here in this kind of cloudy day. I'm thankful it did not rain, but if it did rain, I'm sure I'm still in good hands with this one. Big thanks to Norman Ring Group of Motorbikes, Sir Jake, Sir Jor, and everyone here that had faith in me that I can take care of the motorcycle and do a good job of reviewing it for you guys. So if you haven't been here in this shop, they have 3 shops. It's all motorcycles. So if you're a motorcycle head here in Davao City, I'm sure you've already been here. But if you haven't, please do visit them. I'll put a link on the Facebook page that they have in the description below. And yeah, check them out for all the motorcycle things that you need. Apparel, jackets, shoes, these small things, caps, what have you. They have it here. And once again, big thank you to these guys here, because without them, I would not be able to bring this review to you. So, Once again, this has been Django Moto 1911 and leaving you with this video. I hope you like this video of the review of the Ducati Scrambler Desert Sled. As always, I would be seeing you guys in the next video. Peace, ciao brothers.